The key for any superpower to exist, and be able to sustain itself, is to maintain the value of its currency as the standard reserve currency of the world. The country that can make its currency the most stable and robust currency for trade, is the country that will be empowered to maintain its superpower status. The US dollar is the global currency and standard currency for trading oil. The Chinese, Russians and Iranians dislike the position of the US dollar. One of the shared objectives of the Chinese and Russian governments, as well as the Iranian regimes, has been the devaluation of the US dollar. It is essential to realize that the regional security, economy and stability of the Persian Gulf countries and the Middle East has a direct effect on the U.S. economy, through affecting the value of the U.S. dollar. The stability of the global economy, within the context of the United States foreign policy and national security objectives, also has a relationship with the economic stability and regional security of the Middle East. Any interruption in the flawless flow of the global oil supply in the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb will initiate the downward spiral effect, creating a global energy security crisis. Such an energy security crisis will have a ripple effect, creating a global economic crisis. Syria, Lebanon, and other North and East African countries are in a secondary position of geostrategic importance, and act as the proxy battlegrounds for the superpowers. Addressing the Iran question is hardly a partisan political question, but rather an essential national security concern that has a direct effect on the value of the US dollar. The strategic alliance of the China-Iran-Russia axis aims to devalue the US dollar and establish a new global reserve currency. For a long time, the Chinese government has been entertaining the idea of making yuan a new standard reserve currency. However, since China owns over $1 trillion of the US debt, the CCP is cautious about how it pursues such an ambition. As long as the U.S. overlooks the fact that the economy, security and stability of Iran has a direct and immediate and long-term effect on the value of the U.S. dollar, most of the talks about the Iran question will be baseless. The Iranian regime is a rogue state that, in alliance with the Chinese and Russian governments, has been focusing on devaluing the U.S. dollar. The central focus of all economic and financial activities of the Chinese government strategically focuses on currency manipulation and devaluation of the US dollar. The Russians and Iranians share the same goals with the Chinese. The success of the US with the Saudis was developing the blueprints of the two countries' relationships and energy security as such, which made the Saudis the shareholders in the United States of America. Thus creating an environment by which the Saudis understand that the success of the United States and the stability of the value of the US dollar means peace and prosperity of Saudi Arabia. However, before the 1979 Iranian Revolution, the United States policymakers failed to realize that similar policies that made sense with the Saudis also make sense when dealing with the Iranians. After 1979, especially after the end of the Iran-Iraq War, the Chinese and Russians seized the opportunity and made a pact with the Iranian regime. This way, they have filled the power vacuum that the absence of the US in Iran had created. It seems that Iran has become a new colony of China and Russia.